Check it out. This video is about No Jumper host Adam22 making this shocking confession to fellow co-host Wack100. This confession was related to the situation when Desto Dub, another No Jumper co-host, got into an altercation with a group of No Jumper haters. For those who don't know, Desto Dub is also the owner of clothing brand That's an Awful Lot of Cough Syrup. If you haven't seen this altercation video, check this out.
They don't fuck with me.
Weird ass, no jumper ass.
AD though, AD, pun.
Maybe we get on the phone.
AD and pun on business. AD and pun on business. Hey, what y'all say, man? Hey, stand.
Now that you have seen the altercation video, in this next video I'm going to show you, it seems Adam22 presents a little timeline presentation on what led up to the event. It seems like in that entire presentation that Adam22 may be throwing a white flag, but I think the rainbow flag is more Adam22's style.
This right here is my timeline of the last 9 months or so. So we're going to go from the left. March. March says the breakup. So then begins the period where you probably can't really see it because the camera's in front of it, but it says them dissing me all the time and me not responding. That was a longish time period
April
here.
to June.
Till I'm going to say honestly till kind of like July. And so I even marked the honeymoon just to kind of put that in perspective, that there was this sort of extended time period that I would describe as a period where they were talking about me a lot. They were doing a lot of clickbaiting about me. And I was just kind of like letting it go. I was just not really interacting too much.
Let it go? Oh, you mean like the Disney song from the movie Frozen? Yeah, you saw in that timeline, I bet you Adam22 pulled out a ruler and then traced it to make the straight lines like you see in the timeline. In fact, it's probably safe to say that Adam22 spends more time in this timeline than he does in his family life with his own kid Parker, as well as his wife, Lena the Plug. And you probably heard from Heather, who is of Back on Fig, where she exposes that Lena told Heather that Lena felt Adam22, Lena the Plug's husband, wasn't doing much in the family life. So you can see definitely cracks in Adam22's family life. And speaking of cracks, I know Lena the Plug having her back cracked by another man on camera, despite having a lot of money from that type of episode, is affecting you, Adam. So you're taking that frustration from that episode into this current situation. Now that you have seen that little timeline from Adam22, what would also turn things up was when Adam22 said these particular things in a Bootleg Kev interview, as well as inviting certain guests to the No Jumper podcast.
So then I do this Bootleg Kev interview, and he asked me, basically the thing that ended up heating everything up, he goes, don't you think that AD's making more money now? I said no. I said a few other things that he probably didn't appreciate, but there was this whole little storm around that time period where you had Snoopy talking about him, you had G-Face, who actually said some stuff on the podcast about AD, and then you had me going on Bootleg Kev. This somehow quickly spirals into me basically debuting the Big 22 personality, which has kind of been retired. We replaced it with a 22 star, but this was basically, that's where things kind of changed. I basically decided if these guys are going to keep talking about me and making me a central focus in their content, then I was going to go on the offense and I was going to start making videos on my iPhone while I was in the gym in my garage talking shit and basically just throwing mud back at them. Basically saying, if you guys are going to diss me, yes, I get it. You guys are super street. I'm not, but I'm not going to just roll over and take this. But this is when I kind of got the reaction from them that they were like, all right, this, we're not going to talk about him anymore. We're going to just focus on building our own company. We're going to do our own thing. This actually lasted a significant period of time.
Bro, let's be honest. Adam22 wanted to engage. He wanted to do a little bit of a tit for tat. Pause. Like, if we really want to look at this strategically, if Adam22 really wanted to crush those channels, don't engage with the beef, because the more beef you feed these channels, they have more content to survive off the beef, so more people will engage, right? People like BS, people like drama, people like confrontation. So when they hear or see that type of thing, people want to tune in. So if you really want to stop community or back on Fig from succeeding, don't engage the beef. Therefore, you would have to force those type of channels to make different types of content outside of no jumper beef. Plus, I really do think Adam22 enjoyed the back and forth, because like he said in that video, he would do his workouts in the gym and then start talking trash in front of the camera. Like, not only was he pumping iron, right? He was definitely, after the gym session, pumped up to talk a little bit of trash. I get it. Plus, if you notice, if you look at Adam22's shirt, right, it's like cigarettes with a little green on top. Is that supposed to be menthol cigarettes? Like, come on. It's usually the ladies who smoke menthol cigarettes, and it doesn't make any sense. What? You get a little mint with your tobacco smoking? What, so you can make your breath smell minty? Come on, your clothes is going to stink of the tobacco. Is it for the taste? Come on, if you want minty flavor, just get like mints in your mouth. Pause, right? Or if you want to smoke real tobacco, just get the tobacco cigarettes. Some things are not meant to be mixed together. Stick mints with the mints, stick tobacco with the tobacco. That's all I gotta say. However, despite what Adam22 has said so far, he does state this regret about the entire situation.
If I could go back in time, I think that the moment that I kind of misplayed my hand, in which I could have been a more mature person, broadcaster, former friend to them, etc., is that once I got them to stop talking about me, I should have said, okay, you got what you wanted, just chill. You have no reason to keep provoking them and keep talking. That's not what I did. I kept just throwing on it. I can't even remember all the different instances in which I spoke about them in negative ways, kind of rubbing it in, etc. And
you don't say. As mentioned before, the more beef you add to the situation, Adam22, the more you provide fuel to those other channels. And I get it. Don't stress yourself too much over this situation, because with too much stress, Adam, you might end up going bald again and getting another hair transplant. Most importantly, Adam22 understands that this situation is not just about himself, and he does acknowledge that his own actions put others in harm's way, such as Mr. Desto Dub.
I was going at it from the perspective of, okay, I feel like I can protect myself. I feel like I'm not terribly worried about what they're going to do to me because I'm moving around in a certain way where I'm not really worried about that. Then we come to this Desto Dub situation. And to be honest, this was just like a really eye-opening thing for me, in which I realized that, yeah, maybe I can take care of myself and move around in a certain way that prohibits me from, running into serious situations. But I also see the way that this is unfolding, and Dub even being in that situation is something that I just really don't want to be responsible for. It's not that I'm, and on top of that, it's just the conversations that I've been hearing behind the scenes about how this could escalate, both from them on stream, because obviously I'm not privy to their private conversations, but then hearing the private conversations going on amongst people on the No Jumper staff and everything. And it just doesn't really sit right with me. I feel like it's on me at this point that I have to go out of my way to intentionally try and de-escalate this situation and acknowledge that I was in the wrong. I should have, at the point in the map, I don't know if it's still on the screen, but after this whole bootleg kept thing, whatever, once they stopped talking about me, I should have just been man enough to say, okay, let's just leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Adam22 is not just you. The people who don't like you could go after people that you're close to, your loved ones. Parker, your wife, Lena the Plug. In fact, even your birthday party. Didn't you invite a lot of random people there? Very easily in that venue, you could have been packed out, Adam22, even with a security guard. Because remember, a security guard is one person. One person versus 10 people. Ooh, it's going to be a bad situation. So yeah, Adam22 is not just about you. It's also about the people around you. In this next clip, Adam22 makes it clear that he wants to tell others to stand down and not to move forward. In other words, he's saying that, I made it official not to go after the ones who supposedly are attacking me. And if y'all do it on your own, it's on your own. So I ain't really co-signing that. Basically, Adam22 is telling his team to let it go, like the Disney song from the movie Frozen.
I'm letting all that go. They don't have to do the same. I'm just saying the whole persona I was taking on before or whatever, I'm going to go way out of my way. A lot of people saw me saying, like, I'm not involved in this at this point. That was just my initial reaction because I had just had a conversation off camera about, people and organizations that might potentially have issues with each other. And it's just, at that point, it's just becoming extremely clear to me.
Did you have a conversation with your other team? Because your other guy's egging on.
Who?
The little guy with the gap in his mouth.
I actually haven't really talked to him about it. I was with him earlier
Did you
today.
see that?
I was actually just going to send him this link as soon as we do it so he knows where I'm at.
Did you see what he said?
I seen a little bit that he said, and I seen some stuff that from the other side they were saying to him, and I'm saying
they responded.
I'm gonna go way out of my way to calm that shit down in terms of telling him to turn it down if possible. Obviously, I don't know what other people are thinking on the other side, but my request of Big Baby and shit is just like let's just take the L on this. Let's just keep it moving.
Autobots, stand down. I guess Adam22 in his Optimus Prime mode, but come on. Let's let the drama go on as possible, go on as far as possible, because as fans, as people who watch it, people just want to see some BS. People want to see drama. People want to see trash talking. If it gets spicy, let it get a little spicy. Of course, we don't want anyone get killed, right? Like, you kill somebody off this drama, we're not going to see them again, right? This ain't like Game of Thrones where, the dragon was supposed to die out, then suddenly become zombie dragon. There is no revival in a real life situation, but let it get spicy. Let the real things play out, right? This is better than WWE. This is like some kind of a soap opera. Yeah, we want to see plots. We want to see cliffhangers. We want to see things go down. Yeah, it's the same reason why, people on Twitter, they search up random fights. Okay, yeah, he got knocked out, she got knocked out, cool. But if there's a drama behind it, if there's some kind of a storyline, if there's some kind of a history, it makes it a little more juicier. So I hate to say, Adam22, I'm going to be selfish. Let the drama continue. Let's say if somebody gets jumped, let's just hope that they're protected, right? Let's just hope everybody understands we use fists, we don't use knives, no weapons, nothing else. Now, Adam22's co-host, Wack100, presses on to Adam22 to make an apology to Heather, who is the girlfriend of T-Rel, a former No Jumper host and a current No Jumper hater, and the host of his own podcast, Back on Fig. So now I want you to pay attention closely to Adam22's response.
Moment of empathy for it.
Do you really want to fix this? All ego to the side. For real, I can help you. First things first.
Okay.
The ultimate disrespect has to be met with apology. You have to apologize to Heather. First things first. I'm just being real, bro. All trolling out the way. You have to apologize to Heather. If you want it to start, if you want those guys to see this and say, you know what, maybe he gets it, cool.
I don't think I can apologize to Heather, honestly, because
then it's not gonna go nowhere.
That's okay. But you look at the first half of this.
You see what I'm saying?
Listen, this is my opinion on it. Is throughout the first half of this, Heather was one of the key people who was really on me after me having never done anything to her, and it really bothered me that she went so out of her way to slam me for no reason. And then when
what did she say?
A whole host of things, but like she was just going in on me, and Smack was in on it, T-Row was in it, AD mostly kept it chill, but I'm not really sitting here trying to do the apology conversation.
Let me tell you what got my attention.
Even in recent memory, I had people on this side threatening my kid So this is not like a wholehearted apology. This is me acknowledging that I'm attempting to de-escalate the situation.
That's right. We say the quiet part out loud. Ain't nobody really care about Heather, right? Just because, Heather, you're on a podcast called Back on Fig, you better stay back in your proper position, which is in the background. People don't see you as the main star. Come on, Heather's only there to balance out the entire podcast. You have T-Rel and a bunch of random people we don't know, and Heather's supposed to be, okay, she's something a little different compared to the rest of the crew in that podcast. It's kind of like these radio shows where they have one woman there just to balance out between the shock jock, like, I don't know, a Charlemagne the God or whatever, and somebody who's supposed to get the show on the road. So come on, Heather, you're kind of speaking out of turn, in my opinion. Like, come on, everybody knows Heather is a former or maybe a current 304. Her brand Sorella is just so-so. It looks like one of those stupid brands that, those stores that sells hand-me-downs. So you know Sorella is not selling top shelf. It's just selling so-so items. So don't take Heather seriously. She's the equivalent of somebody who holds up the line because she wants to talk to the manager. In fact, let's be honest, without Adam22 giving T-Rel the opportunity to showcase his talent, T-Rel would not have the clout to start up Back on Fig, and without Back on Fig, we would not even see a Heather in our presence. But later, deeper in the conversation, Wack100 pushes Adam22 to say this thing.
You don't think Heather had the conversation with her? How did she even know about you?
She was at the party. She definitely had a conversation. But all I'm saying is, I can definitely acknowledge that me insinuating that she participated in any kind of sex work, I have no clue. Obviously, I've seen screenshots of sugar baby ads from like 10 plus years ago. Do I know that those are actually real or that she even actually acted upon them? No, I don't. So I can apologize for saying that. I would definitely apologize for that.
Gotcha. And
I have to segment up my apologies because this is still so fresh and raw.
Raw. Like that wrestling show, or Raw, like something you might be thinking about, except you know you shouldn't be doing it with that particular person. You see, we see in this case that Heather got exposed, and Adam22, you shouldn't be apologizing. In fact, you better double down. Take no prisoners, right? We gotta make no excuses. You see, Heather is a crazy person. Adam22 knows it. People in the podcast knows it. So, because Heather is a crazy person, when she acts crazy, people are like, oh, okay, there it is, Heather, she's being crazy again, right? It's almost some kind of a normal behavior for a crazy person to act crazy. Yet when a normal person suddenly acts crazy, like, whoa, what's going on? Because usually that normal person acts normally, not crazy. So you got to treat Heather like a crazy person. Like, Heather really needs to be punished, right? Just like what they used to say back in the day, zero tolerance, because honestly, even T-Rel said it himself. If Adam22 did not invite T-Rel on the podcast, T-Rel, in fact, he confessed that he wouldn't have been able to buy the house. He wouldn't have the clout to do his Back on Fig podcast. So I can safe to say is, without Adam, without T-Rel's podcast, Heather might really have to be back on Fig. Later on, T-Rel, as well as the other no jumper haters like Ace Boy Pun and AD, will call for peace.
My peace. You feel me? I'm gonna leave it alone after this, and I'm gonna talk to you, Adam.
President AD.
Talking to you, Adam. First and foremost, I want to commend you on your accountability today, because this is the first time that I ever heard you take accountability damn near for half the shit. Anything, you feel me? And I hope that you ain't just doing this shit for the time being. I hope that your words is really sincere.
You wasn't on that,
No.
I mean, bro, it's only so many times that I could say what I said to a nigga, like, we ain't playing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it came down to. It's like, bro, we ain't playing. Even that night, though, it wasn't even like niggas making that shit bigger than what it was. Like, nigga was trying to have a conversation with homie. You know what I'm saying? When you start doing like backpedaling, it became something different. It is what it is, bro. That's old news. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, for brother to do that today, I think he realized, like, these niggas ain't playing. And it should be, it could become bigger, because all that popping it, I got the Smith & Wesson come pull up. We don't play that type of lingo with each other, bro. Like, we don't go that far. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? He understand. Obviously, I don't think he just woke up and understood that. I will say the parties over there that be that understand street side talked to him and now got through his fucking cranium.
Cranium. Like that weird board game, except Adam22 knows this is not a game. And Pun, I see your logic and reasoning saying, hey, myself, Pun, and others, we just wanted to talk to Desto Dub. But here's the thing. Pun, you may be able to control yourself from punching or hurting Desto Dub and just keep it talking, but there's no guarantee you would have prevented your other crew members who were pulling up with you to control their emotions. They might just pop Desto Dub out of anger, and there's no way, Pun, you could have done to prevent that. So just because you, Pun, was intending to keep it talking and you can control your actions doesn't mean you can control other people's actions. Come on. Isn't one of the members of the Ace Boys like somebody who's very violent? So I understand your good intentions, Pun, but there's no guarantee you could have prevented something else that other people who was pulling up with you. So I understand why Desto ran away. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, put a like and subscribe. Put a comment below if you got something to say about it. I'll see you all next time.